for another 6 minutes. So basically what I do is our team works with different applications.
Every day you wake up is speak to the mountain and tell the mountain to move.
Good afternoon, you guys. It is, let me put TV down. I'm sitting here watching sister, y'all. All right, try this again. Good afternoon, you guys. So it's 3:30 Tuesday afternoon, and I am actually trying to cook early. Tonight is my night to cook. So I wanted to go ahead and cook now, which I'm technically on my lunch break, but not really lunching at all. I'm just trying to use my time to cook. I want to show you guys what I cooked. I did not cook. I did not think to record what I'm cooking until like just a minute ago, and I've already like basically prepared most of it. So sorry about that, but it is a healthy meal. That's why I wanted to record it, because it is a healthy meal, but I didn't think about recording it until afterwards. Sorry about that, y'all. But I will say though that it is super easy. Oh, and I didn't mention, someone had asked me about my workout schedule. I have still been working out. I just haven't been working out as consistently as I was before. But I have been working out whenever I can, and I did work out today, so I look like this. Now I'm in here cooking. But yeah, the meal. So the meal is super easy. It is a healthy meal, so I wish I would have recorded it from scratch, but I'll kind of explain what I did. And let me get the tripod so I can just sit this camera on the tripod and my arm won't start hurting. Okay, so that's much better. Okay, so anyways, I went ahead and I'm cooking dinner now, and I want something that was healthy, but something that was still good. So I'm actually making something that I haven't made in a while. So I made onion roasted potatoes and ground turkey meatballs. The potatoes, unfortunately, are already in the oven, but I kind of show you guys what they look like real quick. So here they are. They have to cook for another 6 minutes, but here they are. So basically what I did is I just took some red potatoes. I have a bag here. I think I cut up about 5 of them maybe. Just, you know, chop them up into like smaller cubes, and then spread them in a casserole dish. And then after that, I used this Lipton onion recipe soup and dip mix. Now Deon actually had this from whenever we barbecued a couple weeks ago for Memorial Day. He had used this in the burgers, so he had an extra pack left, and so I went ahead and used this on potatoes. Now the recipe for the potatoes calls for the potatoes, the mix, and olive oil. However, I didn't have olive oil, so I subbed that with butter, just a little bit. I melted a little bit of butter in a measuring cup, just a glass cup. Melted the butter in that cup, and then spread that over the potatoes that was already in the dish, and then sprinkled the onion mix on top of that. And that was all I did. Yeah, it was super easy. And then I just popped them in the oven. The oven's on 400 degrees, and I kept it in there for 35 minutes. So that's all I did. Me and Deon love potatoes, and we love like nice, crunchy, crispy potatoes. So I'm hoping that turns out really good. I feel like with that, like, you can't go wrong with potatoes, seasoning, and butter. Like, I feel like it has to come out good. So I made that, and then I also made ground turkey meatballs, and those are not in the oven yet. So I made 1 pack of turkey already, and it made, what, 9 meatballs. So basically with this, I took a roll of ground turkey, and this is just the honeysuckle white ground turkey that we get from Walmart. So 1 roll of that made 9 meatballs. So I'm gonna make another roll real quick. Now, the only thing about these is that I actually ran out of the onion seasoning. So basically what I did is I used half of a packet, because we only had 1 left. So I used half of one of those onion packets for the potatoes, and the other half for the meatballs, because I didn't know that I was gonna need 2 rolls of meatballs, or 2 rolls of meat. So I used the other half of the seasoning packet for those other 9 meatballs. So I don't have any more seasoning left, which is fine, because I can just use normal seasoning. For this roll here, I won't have any to make it with, but that's okay. So basically I just chopped up the meat. I just ground it up. There, I need to use a spatula. Ground it up, and then just go in and add your seasoning. Y'all, this is so easy. I just added my seasonings. As I mentioned, I used the onion roasted seasoning for the other meatballs, but I don't have any more now. So I'm going to use the seasoning that me and Deon always use. It's complete seasoning. I don't really know where this comes from, probably Walmart or HEB, but it's the original complete seasoning. I'm gonna sprinkle a lot of this because I love my my meatball seasons, y'all. So I put in a lot of that, a little bit of onion powder, And then from here, you want to mix it, take your hands and mix it up really well. And my hands are washed. I just washed my hands before I started vlogging. Okay, and then now the easy part is to make your meatballs. I just take my meatballs and kind of roll them up into little rolls. I want to get at least 9 of these out. Okay, so basically my meatballs look about this big. I usually roll them up a little bit. They look about this big. I just pop them on my cookie sheet with aluminum foil, and that's it. And I'll make about, what, 9 or 10 of these out of this batch here. And then pop those in the oven. And the oven is already set up 400 degrees, so I'll just put it in there at the current temperature. And then probably cook them for about 30 minutes, probably. I don't know, I'll let you guys know how long to cook them for, but basically until it's done. You want to just make sure that the meat is cooked through all the way and make sure it is done. So again, another little small meatball, roll them up real easy. I haven't really done much today, but one thing that I will address that someone actually asked, which was actually a really good question, was for me to explain what I really do, like what do I do in my day-to-day job. So I mentioned in a previous vlog, whenever I went to Dallas for my speaking event, that I mentioned that I had met up with my coworkers from my old job, and we all work in IT, in tech industry. And one of our subbies had asked if I could explain what an IT project manager is, like what I do. And then someone else had asked if I can explain what my degree is. It's actually a really good topic because a lot of, like honestly, I would never, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't even know what it is. So shout out to whoever asked, I cannot remember the name, I'm so sorry. But shout out to the 2 ladies who asked me about, or requested that I talk about that, because I'm talking about that today in today's vlog. Since I'm not doing anything, I might as well go on and just talk about what I do. So let me cut this beeper off, y'all. This is getting on my nerves. Because yeah, that's definitely a good topic. And then also, I had mentioned in that vlog that there aren't very many minorities, especially female minorities in that in our industry. So I'll elaborate on, basically I'll talk about what I went to school for, because I mentioned that I have my degree in industrial engineering. So I'll kind of talk about what actually is industrial engineering. I can also discuss like my career journey, kind of like from internships in college to my current, or how I landed in my current position now, what exactly it entails, different opportunities you can take with that degree, and then like my day-to-day activities. Alrighty guys, so I have all my meatballs on my tray. I have, what I did, 9 and 10, so 19 altogether. And then once I put them on there, I just sprinkled a little bit of extra seasoning on top, just to make sure that's real nice and seasoned. So go ahead and pop this into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know. I'll let you guys know exactly how long I put them in there for, but it's really, the oven is worth the work from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in. So actually what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and, I have about an hour left to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my work day and then come back and talk about my career and all that stuff. So I'll be right back, and hopefully, well, by that time my food will be done too. So I'll come back to talk about the food and then talk about my career and my education journey and all that stuff. So hey guys, so it is about 7:30, 7:36 to be exact. And my food's been done for a while. I'll just show you guys real quick how it looks and it turns out. So here are the onion roasted potatoes. Nice and crispy and crunchy. And then here's the meatballs. So I left them in for exactly 30 minutes, which is a perfect amount of time because they cooked all the way through, but they weren't, they didn't dry out. You know, sometimes if you cook meat too long, it dries out and it actually doesn't taste very good. I left them on for 30 minutes and it was at the perfect amount of time. And here those are. Nice and juicy. And then I also made some pasta. I didn't make it from scratch. I actually just buy the frozen bag. And I made that because y'all know I don't like to cook. So I figured that while I was cooking, I should go ahead and make one more meal to last me throughout the rest of the week. So that is the meal for the night. But y'all, I'm craving something sweet so bad. Like, I'm craving cinnamon rolls. So I'm actually about to go to the store and go get some cinnamon rolls. Alright, you guys, I'm heading to H-E-B or Walmart or whatever I feel like going to go get some cinnamon rolls. But okay, so job/career chat. Ooh, the sun. Okay, So as I mentioned earlier, I have been asked a couple times like, what do I do? And I've mentioned my actual job title, but I haven't explained like what I do, you know, on a day-to-day basis. So I'm gonna start from like, I guess, college education, what my degree was in, what it actually means, and then kind of talk through my career. So you guys know me and Deon both went to OU, the University of Oklahoma. We went there, met there, and whenever I started school, I actually started school pre-pharmacy. So I actually intended on going to school for pharmacy. Well, actually, I started school for pharmacy. Growing up, my least favorite subject was always science. Well, science and like history. Science and social studies, whatever. Both of those were my least favorite subjects. So imagine I get to college, okay? I'm a freshman, my first semester, and I have this super hard Chem 1 class and super hard Chem lab. Y'all, it was the worst class. I barely made a C, like barely made a C. Chemistry, science in general, like I knew after that first semester, I was like, I can't do it. But my favorite, okay, so aside from that, my favorite subject had always been math. So when I was looking for a new major, I was considering like, okay, what other majors like could I do that, you know, I felt comfortable pursuing? Because granted, you know, everyone has their whole outlook on like, you know, what degrees you should go to school for, blah, blah, blah. But for me, it was like, if I was gonna go to, because I went to school out of state, so I'm paying out of state fees to go to school. So let me go ahead and pursue a career that, you know, was gonna give me, you know, a decent job, you know, with some, that's gonna pay pretty well, or pay pretty decent, I guess you could say. And so a lot of my friends at the time were engineering majors. I don't know why that happened, but OU has a really good engineering program, and a lot of African Americans at that school pursue engineering. So a lot of my friends at the time were engineering. I had chemical engineers, there were civil engineers I was friends with, computer science, and industrial engineering. I had two friends who were industrial engineering. And I was like, well, you know, I would love math, and I like, you know, high level stuff, blah, blah, blah. Engineering sounds cool, but I don't know an engineering route that would fit my interest, because I didn't want to do like, you know, I don't want to be like out in the field doing engineering work. And also, I didn't mention that my dad was an engineer, and so actually that's part of the reason why I was looking into engineering. So one of my friends was like, oh, you should look into industrial engineering. Now, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Industrial engineering, so basically industrial engineering is improving efficiency and productivity while decreasing cost. So basically what that means is, as an industrial engineer, my job for a company, and this is a traditional industrial engineer. So a traditional industrial engineer, their job is to come in and help increase revenue for the company by improving efficiency and productivity. Now, that degree in general is extremely broad, y'all. And that's why I enjoyed it, because honestly, I could have went into I could have went into a ton of different industries, a ton of different roles with my degree. So basically what that means is, whenever I say improve efficiency and productivity, that could be improving a process flow. That could be improving ergonomics for a machine. So let's say I'm a company and my workers work on machines. Well, maybe the machine is too high and that's slowing down the workers, or maybe it's, you know, not angled right, or maybe they're in pain most of the day because the equipment isn't ergonomically friendly, if that makes sense. So I would come in and help improve ergonomics for their equipment to improve efficiency and productivity. Other ways to do that is, I said process flow, ergonomics. We had a class, statistics. There's also changing systems. That's kind of like process flow, I guess, but improving systems, whether it be electronic systems, whether it be organizational systems. That's a good one. So for example, if there's too many people in the chain of command, I could come in, consult with the company, see, you know, what's working, what isn't working, and make recommendations on how to improve the organizational structure or system. there's a ton of different ways. I won't go into all of it, but basically there's a ton of different ways that a person, industrial engineer, could come in and improve efficiency and productivity. And of course, all of that, once you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, all of that actually helps to increase cost, or decrease cost but increase profit, if that makes sense. So said all that to say that with my degree I could have done a ton of different things. The classes that I took, basically, like I said, it was a lot of math. Like I took Calc 1, 2, 3, and 4, pre-cal, linear algebra, statistics, like there's some other stuff in there. Took a lot of math classes, a lot of organizational improvement classes, a lot of process flow classes. Took an ergonomics class, took like a research studies class, so you can know how to research and study, you know, the organization whenever you go into work for a different company. Took a lot of different classes, and my first internship, it was the summer of my junior year. My first internship was actually a process improvement internship. So that internship, I was like on the floor. Okay, so I worked for Cintas, that internship. And basically, if you don't know what Cintas is, it's a facilities management company where they do like cleaning and like uniforms, stuff like that for different companies. And so I worked for that company in Oklahoma City. And my internship, it was process improvement. So basically what I did that entire summer is they needed help with their mat cleaning process. So Cintas provides mats for like actual floor mats for different companies. And in the warehouse, they had a whole system where they clean the mats. Well, they weren't producing enough, or they weren't cleaning enough mats to hit their daily mark. And they were ending up having to hand out a lot of credits to the companies, because if they missed their cleaning date to deliver the mats to the companies, then they owed the company a credit. So they were having a lot of issues with owing too many credits. So I came in there that summer. I won't get into what I did, but basically I analyzed the company structure and created a whole new mat cleaning process. But that internship, I actually learned what I do not want and want in a job. So I love the freedom of what I was doing, because a lot of what I was doing, it was like I was like managing myself, if that makes sense, because I was the one in charge of developing this new system. So I love the flexibility of the position. I loved being able to be in charge of a process and kind of owning that myself. And then of course being in charge of getting it to where they see a result. The one thing I did not like was I am not built, y'all, for manual labor at all. I learned that really early on. I am not built for manual labor. And like that summer, I was doing a lot of manual labor, because not only was I in charge of improving the process, I was one actually physically changing the process. So imagine, like, I'm in this warehouse. I have on these, like, this work uniform is like real ugly, y'all, in this dusty, hot warehouse, and I'm the one physically moving the mats. I'm the one physically moving around the process flow. Y'all, it was a lot. So anyways, that summer I figured out that I didn't want to do, like, I don't want to be on the floor. I really want to do more of the project management side. As I mentioned, I love owning the project. So I wanted to focus more so on project management. So the next summer I interned, and I interned for a natural oil and gas company in Tulsa called Williams, and I interned there. And that internship was technically an engineering internship, but my role was project management or process management, whatever it was called. Anyways, I loved that internship. I loved project management. I loved it. I loved the internship. Like, I had no complaints that summer. So I knew whenever I was looking for a full-time position that I wanted to go in looking for a project management role. That was what I love to do. I didn't want to be on the floor. I kind of went a couple different ways, y'all. I know industrial engineers that went to work for like Exxon and Chevron. I know IEs that went to work for what's it called, like the Federal Aviation Association, or Federal Aviation, whatever the FAA is, the Federal Aviation, whatever. Some went to work for actual oil and gas companies, like out in the field on the rigs, you know. So anyways, there's a lot of different roles you can go to with that degree. Some become consultants, some become analysts, some become, as I mentioned, IEs out in the field for oil and gas companies. Some become actual industrial engineers. I know some people that went to work for Goodyear, like the tire company. So there's a ton of different industries you can go into, but I specifically wanted in project management. So my first job out of college was actually an assistant project manager, and I worked for a construction management company, and I did that for a year. Now that year, y'all, I actually hated my job. Loved the company, loved the people, but I was not a huge fan of my job because I wasn't really feeling the actual industry. Construction is pretty like straightforward. I wasn't challenged at all. I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really own anything. I was just doing whatever my boss told me to do. And I did that for about a year whenever I was in Dallas. And honestly wasn't happy. So me being me, I'm the type of person that, like, if I'm not happy with my current situation, I will change it up. I will do something differently to make sure that I'm happy. So after about a year, I looked for a new job. I knew I wanted to stay in project management, like that general function, but I wanted to change industries. And my job that I had, that internship that I had with Williams and Tulsa, that project management position, that one, my team that I actually worked for, like that organization, was actually IT. And as I mentioned before, like I loved that internship and the role that I had. So I was like, okay, well, you know, if I enjoyed that one, then I'll probably enjoy a job kind of doing the same thing. So I applied to my current company. I won't mention the name, but I work for a major corporation. I'm sure you guys have something by them. I won't mention what it is, but I interviewed with them and got hired. So basically what I do is my team is an infrastructure, how do I want to say this? Okay, so our team works with different applications. So, you know, within IT, there's tons of different applications, and all the applications talk to each other. And this is like, you know, like apps on your phone. Like all these apps on your phone talk together, right? Well, in my organization, we have a lot of different applications that our employees use, and they all talk together. So my team manages those certain applications. We have like 3 major ones and a couple smaller ones. And so what we do is we are in charge of the infrastructure infrastructure services. So basically we manage those applications, and we manage any projects that go on within those applications. So let's say, okay, let's say I'll use Twitter for example. Okay, let's say there's Twitter, and Twitter needs to have an update. Okay, everyone knows, you know, apps have updates. Let's say I worked for Twitter, and Twitter needed to release a new update. So my team in the Twitter world would be in charge of managing that update. So we have different team members on our team. Some are the actual application architects, where they are the ones actually doing the coding or managing the people that's doing the coding and doing all that. And then there's people like me. I am more so on the project management side. So I manage the estimates, or the budgets, the estimates, make sure that we're meeting our deadlines, making sure, well, actually I manage our infrastructure roadmap, which basically means that I manage this really long list of projects. That makes sense. Not really a list, but this really long list of projects that all the applications want to get done at a certain point in time. So my job is to work with the application teams to make sure that they submit their budgets, that they are staying within estimate, that they get all their equipment on time. I work with my boss a lot to get approvals. As I mentioned, there's a long list, so I'm also in charge of making sure that the projects that we're funding are actually projects that are actually needed and that are high priority. Of course, everyone wants to get things funded, but I'm in charge of making sure that the things that we want to get funded and that we're proposing for funding are actually important, like top of the list. I work with the funding team, of course, to make sure that money gets delivered. Aside from that, I'm also in charge of managing like our internal teams communication, basically. So a lot of it is like really high level. I knew going into it that I didn't want to be like too detailed. I don't care that much about, like, I'm more about getting from A to Z, just making sure that we get there. I'm not a person who really cares much about details. Well, take that back. I'm very detail oriented, but as far as like the little nitty gritty stuff that's in between getting from A to Z, I don't care that much about that. For me, it's like, okay, keeping an eye on things, making sure that things flow nicely through the process and that they get delivered at the end of the day. That's a lot of what I do within my team, which is in tech, which is for a major tech company. Now, IT PM or IT project manager can be a lot of different things, honestly. As I mentioned, a lot of my peers work for different organizations. I know people who, like, their PM role is more so like they host calls and do more emailing and managing and tracking stuff. I know PMs that work more with metrics, make sure that we're making our metrics, make sure that things are going as planned, if that makes sense. I know a PM who all she did all day was do PowerPoints. Like, it really varies. I'm very fortunate in my role because my role is pretty consistent. It's pretty consistent, and I stay pretty engaged and pretty like interested in what I'm doing. But it could be a lot of different things, to be honest. I mentioned in my vlog whenever I went to Dallas that there's very few minorities and even fewer female minorities within my field. Like, whenever I was still in Dallas, in my office there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black women, and our floor had at least maybe like 70, 80 people. So that goes to show you how few black females are in the tech industry. So it was very, very few. On my team, like I'll say, on my team specifically, I'm the only black female on my team. And there's one black male, he's a contractor, so that doesn't really count. So basically I'm the only black person on my team. So yeah, tech is, I don't know why well, I know why, there just aren't very many African Americans pursuing that field. Like, I make a good amount of money. I have a good work schedule. I have, you know, a good team. Granted, I have a good team. So I don't know if it'll be like this everywhere, but I do have a good team. My team is very, very, I want to say family friendly, but we have a really good work-life balance. Like, for me, whenever I log off my computer at work, I'm done for the night. Some jobs are like, whenever, you know, they want you to have, you know, do your email, you know, at 10 o'clock at night time. Like, I don't have that at all. I'm basically, when I'm off, I'm off. So I definitely appreciate my career. You guys know, I feel like I mentioned this before, I'm not at my dream job. I'm definitely not in love with what I do, if that makes sense. And that's because I'm not passionate about my work. And I can say that openly, like, I'm not passionate about what I do. However, until I get to that point, I'm very content with my job, if that makes sense. Like, I'm very content with what I do. For right now, I stay stimulated, I stay challenged. I'm just not doing my passion, which my passion is completely opposite of technology. Like, in tech, there's no creativity. My passion is definitely creativity. So until I get to where I want to get to, I have no problem at all staying put for right now. At least while I'm working on other things until I can get to where I want to go, if that makes sense. So if you guys have any questions at all about, like, my job, like what I do, advice on how to get there, like, please let me know. I'm open to helping out. I can't help you get a job, so don't ask me that. I cannot help you get a job, but I can definitely help you you know, with resume stuff, or like if you have any questions as far as like how to figure out, you know, if it's a good fit or a good company or whatever, I could probably help you out with that. So I always say that I'm fortunate enough to be in the position that I am in now, because even though I don't love my job, I have a position to where I could pursue outside things and have a good balance between that and work, you know. So again, if you guys have any questions at all, let me know down below or email me. I'll leave our email in the description box all the time, so shoot me an email if you want to. So yeah, that is my job slash career story slash what I do now slash how I got here slash all that good stuff. So yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and run into the store. I've been sitting in the parking lot for like 10 or probably like what, 20 minutes now. And probably will talk to you guys whenever I get back to the house, and whenever Deon gets home and I make my cinnamon rolls and all that good stuff. So talk to you guys soon. Hey y'all, so I am back home. It's about almost 9:30 and I'm just sitting here making dinner while watching Queen Sugar. Y'all know, well, if y'all been following this vlog since like the beginning, you guys know how much I love Queen Sugar. So I am so happy that the show is back. Okay, if anyone out there is looking for a good show to watch Queen Sugar. I'm telling you, that show, y'all, is so good. It is so good. I love it. I love it. Like, I love it. So I'm sitting here watching that. It just came back on tonight. Deon just got home, but he went to take Carly out to the bathroom. And then I think I'm about to sit here and eat dinner and catch up on our day and stuff. And then probably hit the bed. It's almost bedtime, basically. So we're just eating and all that good stuff. Have my cinnamon rolls, you know, meatballs, potatoes, my salad, all that good stuff. So I am feeling good. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little chat earlier today about like what I do, all that stuff. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, let me know down below. And that's about it. So, oh, here he goes.
Alright, come on.
There you go. Did you go potty? Did you go potty? He did both for one. I'm gonna say hi to the vlog. I'm seeing you today.
What's up, Job Turkey? What's up, Job Turkey?
Here, hold on.
Y'all, it's been a long day. Queen Sugar is on. Is this the new episode of old? Man, y'all. Long day. Been at school since 7 o'clock. Just got home around 9:21. I hate to do my baby like this and leave her home all day by herself. Bring her all the way to Austin not to be here enough. I hate it. But it's for the bigger. It's for a bigger cause. Greater cause, I should say. Greater cause. But anyways, I walked into, babe, are these meatballs? What up though? I've had these in forever. What? She made meatballs, potatoes, roasted potatoes, and salad. Oh my God. What you want? What you want? You want something, don't you?
I don't want nothing.
She wants something from me. I don't know what it is. You want some of me? Alright, you can have some.
So stop. Y'all, he gets on my nerves.
I love that girl. She crazy.
You're crazy.
But anyways, y'all, this day has been filled with like so many things to do. I promise, like, for those of you who are in some kind of graduate program or just in school period, like, my words to you today is just to, every day you wake up, is speak to the mountain and tell the mountain to move. I've been doing that. Like, I have to do that in order to make it through the day. In order to get out the bed next to all this good stuff right there. Oh, yeah, so yeah. Speak to the mountain, y'all. Tell the mountain to move in order to get through the day. Get out of bed. But then just keep it pushing. But y'all, it's been a great day. Like, I feel very productive. I got some stuff done, went to lab, have to go to work tomorrow. I feel really good about it. Like, I feel like something's opened up. Like, some difference opened up. Let's say, came home to Harley. Hey, Har! Hey, Har! I play too much. I play too much.
Huh?
Like, he's too cool.
Huh? In my little teddy bear face.
He does the most, y'all. It'll all be worth it once this is finished. Once this is finished, I cook for you, strip for you, rub your feet. Okay, I already do most of that now, so.
You gonna strip me?
Not no more. You don't deserve that.
Why?
We're not talking about this on camera. Hey, y'all, so it is what it is. This is the end We will definitely speak to you all tomorrow. Babe, stop it. Alright, y'all. It's been real. Deuces.